YouTube tutorial. So for today's class we shall be looking at the status bar, which is this bar that appears at the lower edge of the window. Also, you can just click on here to access more functions of the status bar. With that, we can say that the status bar appears at the lower right corner of the program window. It contains an assortment of tools for controlling various drawing aids such as grade display, snap mode, and polar tracking. So we shall start by looking at the snap. The snap basically restricts. The snap is used to restrict your drawings or what you are doing or your drawing motion to preset increments. Mostly the cursor gravitates in the intersection of the X and Y axis. So if you want to activate that one, you just click on that point and then select the command that you want, and the lines will be drawn along the X and Y axis. The next important function of this or tool of this status bar is we have the grid. So the grid allows one to divide the drawing window into visible vertical and horizontal lines to give a sense of space proportion. So you can change the color if you want. So the grid is this one. When it's off, there is nothing that is there to indicate that you have a grid or you have that sense of space and proportion. But once you click on this icon here, the grid will be displays these boxes. That is what we call the grid. The next is the auto snap. The auto snap restricts your drawings of motion to one of four 90 degrees increments. You have 0, 90, 180 and 270. So once activated, which is this one, you will be able to draw your lines in increments of 0, 180 and 270. So that is the function of the auto snap. The next one we have the polar tracking. So the polar tracking or the polar snap restricts your drawing of motion to reset defined angles. In this mode, you can draw lines at any angle. It's opposite of the auto snap. So that one can be selected from this variety. After the polar tracking, the next one you have the object snap or the O snap. The O snap basically, which is this one, the O snap is a special defined points on an object that the cursor gravitates to when drafting. So O snap include you have the endpoint, the midpoint, the center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, up to parallel. So when they are inactive and let's say you are drawing a line, it will be very difficult for you to be able to know that that point is your endpoint, that point is your midpoint, and then that point is your endpoint. So it is good for you to make sure that all of these extensions or all of these all snap are active so that it will make it easier for you to draw. Let's say you want to draw a line tangent to this circle, you just ensure that the tangent or snap is active and then click on that and then just move your cursor on that circle until a particular point has been reached, where now you can see that that point is that point is tangent to that line. So those are the different ways in which you can draw your lines using these, or you can draw your tangent using these object snap or snap function. The next one, you have the object snap tracking, which allows one to snap to alignment track paths based on the required snap points and existing objects. The next one, you have the dynamic input. The dynamic input is this one, and for you to activate this dynamic input, you have to click on this status bar here and then make sure that the dynamic input is on. With that, now you can just draw your lines, and then you can specify, maybe I want a line of 5 centimeters or millimeters. I want an upward of 7 millimeters. And by that, you can use this dynamic part, this one of 3, 4, 5, 6.5, to just give an input of your drawings. The next one, you have show and hide line weight, that allows you to display lines weights on the screen in model or layout. So those are the major functions or major parts that or major tools that you can use when using the status bar. The key ones that you need to know are these: the grid, the two types of snaps. You have this one, the dynamic input. You have the ortho. You have this ISO, and then after that, you can come to this object snap, which is very important. And this one, auto snap, which is similar to this, but now this one is at an angle. And then this one is your scale, which is 1:1, which is also an important tool when you want to control the various drawings that you'll be doing on your workspace.